Serve me, I put in 25 in your back like Barry Bonds. You on the street, on the beat, y'all ain't able to do our shit on rappers like major labels. What's with the ice grilling, homie? Change your face. To see they'll do more than change you to change your race. Girls love metaphor, and I love them back. Addicted to getting head, call me the brainiac. Battle rap with words more like G-Had. I write dope, flow crack, my notepad need rehab. Fuck y'all CDs, y'all can't see these or touch these. Rhyme so chronic, my flows give you the mercy.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Definitely Fresh Show. I do have to apologize. Normally we are on Thursday, but we went to go see the Avengers movie yesterday. If you've been listening to the Def Fresh Show, as long as we've been around, you know that when there's a new movie release, especially during this Marvel run, we always go on Thursday and do the show later on the weekend. But for those of you guys, the movie is dope. Um, go check it out. Don't sit here and put all your eggs in one basket. For those who've never followed the movie trilogy to begin with, still go see the movie. It's a two-parter, if you didn't know. So the way it ends does not mean that the movie is done. So definitely make sure you go and check it out. And of course, if you're not a smart person and you haven't been following Marvel, you should know there's always end credits. Stay past the credits. Make sure you watch everything so you can get a serious idea about what's going on in regards to the next series of movies. But enough about that. Thursday. So the next time the Death Fresh come on, we'll go ahead and we will dive in a little bit deeper in regards to not only the movie itself, but what the movie actually will mean going forward for the MCU universe. So definitely future episodes of the Death Fresh show, so be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure you guys tune in this Sunday for another edition of the Man Cave. If you guys have been listening to us lately, you know that we have been on, I don't want to say a tangent or anything in regards to that, but we've really been on a roll where we're speaking to more and more of you guys in regards to relationship statuses and things that are going on in regards to relationships, and kind of teaching people in the way only we can in the Man Cave to start looking at things from a different perspective. This Sunday is not going to be any different, as we are covering the concept of sometimes you do have to fall back. Okay. I know in the black community, fallback game is strong is a phrase that has been used quite often in regards to when someone doesn't want to fuck with somebody anymore. We're going to go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into that. Not only when you should fall back, or sometimes is the fact that you're not getting things your way an excuse to just fall back, and or should you still stay there and fight? So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. So definitely make sure you tune in and check that out. But tonight's episode, which I don't know where Juan is at the time, so hopefully he will be joining us soon, is a little bit out of the norm for us here on the Death Fresh Show. We really do try to stay away from doing current events and things that are going on in the world, because we don't like to date ourselves as a show. We like to kind of just have a little fun and then dive in to the topic, or even throw as a question here and there. But this recent past week, a lot of information or a lot of things in everyday society has kind of rolled out. We've had women coming forward and actually opening up about domestic violence, but more importantly, Bill Cosby, who we all know had been in the news about his rape cases that have been brought up against him. The original case that had damn near 60 different women who popped up out the clear blue, that case basically went and got thrown out trial. 3 young ladies decided that they wanted to go ahead and retry because they had new circumstantial evidence and basically had a better lawyer team than they had once before. So they decided to take him back to trial. He was found guilty under the new trial, which Each case has a maximum sentence of 10 years, giving Bill Cosby the possibility of getting a total of 30 years in jail. Now, have you mind, people, this is an 80-year-old man. So we're going to talk a little bit about not only the situation at hand, the effects that it has on society, and the question of the week is, does a person's personal life affect your support in regards to their body of work? Okay. Tonight we are joined, of course, by Young Fresh. He got here a little bit late, and then also Jacob of the Breakdown will also be joining us as well tonight
I
as we dive into this topic.
I just flew in from Titan. It's beautiful up there.
Technically, I don't know how you flew in because you stuck, bruh. I don't know how you. You know what? You might not be stuck because
I got the plug.
Somebody
I got
left.
the plug.
Somebody left their ship.
I got the plug.
Somebody left their ship. So
yeah.
That
He plugged me down with some teleportation because we can do that now, fam. Just snap of the fingers, you can do whatever we want.
No, he can. The rest of y'all can't. But anyway, I did already give him a quick recap on the movie without giving anything away. But so
Thanos brought the smoke. In so many words, he real life he brought it. You know how the Rock say, just bring it. Well, it was brought, and I don't think they really want it now. Like, niggas was talking extra spicy when he was sitting on this motherfucking planet, and he didn't want to come. And when he got there, everybody was like, oh, man, we just want mild sauce. Where's the mild sauce? Like, no, it's extra spicy. 2-piece crispy, no biscuit.
Okay. So, looking at the information and watching the news lately now, all three of us are aware of the situation at hand. I just did a little synopsis in regards to it. We're going to go ahead and dive into tonight's topic a little bit. And we're going to start with the question of, number one, does a person's personal life and personal tragedies affect your support of their body of work? So for an example, I did ask a bunch of ladies through today. I mean, talking every walks of life, from a chick that's going to school to get her law degree all the way to a porn star who does webcams on the side for a little money, how they felt about the verdict in the situation. I got a large array of different answers in regards to it, but one thing that stayed universal throughout is no matter what, they're still going to watch The Cosby Show. They're still going to watch any movies that he's in, and they're still going to enjoy his body of work no matter what the situation is with him. How do you feel about this situation? And will you still support his body of work? Jacob, since you're the guest, let's go ahead and let's start with you this evening.
I personally feel, and I keep saying this, statute of limitations is a mofo. Like, my question is this because, and people keep saying, don't be putting race in it, is it because he's a black man? I just want to know, like,
all right, now you got to tread carefully.
Did it, okay, yeah.
You got to tread carefully.
I know.
No. And here's the reason why I have to say this.
I honestly think.
Okay, I have to say this for the listeners. One thing about tonight's episode is, as much as we're going to dive in and we're going to talk about stuff, we do understand that we're not defending the man in his actions. Okay,
not at all.
We have said on numerous occasions show that not every woman was serious about what he did, but there are some where he may have did it. He has actually admitted to the usage of party drugs to loosen the women up to help them relax. Okay? What he was being put on trial for, as much as they put that out there, was the sex consensual, or even better, were the ladies in the right mind to actually consent, knowing what they were consenting to? All right, now keep going.
But still, I mean, even though, it's still like a statute of limitations, though. or the length of time that this stuff could be brought against you and all this kind of stuff. Um, I hate to say it, but if other things was going on, and I ain't even gonna say that on here live on the air because I want to say it, but
no, say it. This is the place where you can say it.
I mean, but with all the stuff that's coming against 45 right now, and he's still walking free, like what I'm lost, dog. I don't know.
We're gonna talk about that in a few.
I'm so lost right now. Like I'm so lost. Like, is it his celebrity? What's going on? I mean, I seen a post earlier on Facebook that basically had the Huxtables on it. You know, that's where he came from. You know, he did the show, The Huxtables, and it had all the women and stuff, the cast on there. And he was saying, with all these women, and he ain't touched none of them, why would he go mess with somebody like that? I don't know. And like you said, he denied it. But did he commit to it? Like I did that, and that's my question. I'm just thrown at that situation. Like, I mean, I'm the main one that would say, yo, if he did it, he need to go down. He need to take care. I mean, they need to do whatever is supposed to happen, and yeah, lock him up. But at the same time, you got these cats that's getting off because of the statute of limitations. That's just the big thing that keep coming up to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right, Juan, what do you want to chime in on this?
Free my nigga Cosby, bro.
Why though?
Okay, all jokes aside, like, okay, first of all, Bill is 80 years plus.
Yeah.
Why is nigga shocked that he not gonna go in a maximum security prison? Like, if you wanted Bill to go to jail, you niggas should be jailed on rape when Bill was probably 30, 35. Because he was actually out here raping niggas. Like, you yell rape when this nigga is on his deathbed. Like, if that's the case, just put a bullet in him and get it out the way. Personally, if you feel this strongly about Bill Cosby raping you, I'm pretty sure it'll look good on your resume when you get to heaven. Like, yeah, I got a body in this Bill Cosby. But I'm saying,
okay,
like, did he rape all them people? I don't really think so. Did he do some of it? Yeah. And I only say he did some of it because it was a different time back then.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You were one of the most powerful people in Hollywood, and y'all doing drugs. I mean, first of all, y'all knew Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby was married forever. Right? So it wasn't no secret that he was married. So if he invites you up here, you already can put your foot in your mouth anyway because you know he's married and you willingly went back to his hotel room. So everybody always want to talk about that. Well, I didn't consent to that. Like, well, you damn near did because you know he married and you know what he owned and you went to his hotel room. You thought y'all was going over a script. You thought y'all was in here to talk. Like, no. Now, I'm not saying that it's the women's fault because, you know, anytime you're a victim of anything, it's not your fault because you don't actually things to happen to you, but at the same time, you have to be aware of the situation that you put yourself in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are going to put yourself in that environment, you have to be aware of what's going on. Like, okay, I get it. You probably will starstruck because that's Bill Cosby, but if you don't do drugs or if you don't drink, don't take a drink. Tell Mr. Cosby, I'm cool. You know, I don't drink. Or, you know, I'm not into what you into, and you keep it in the back. And if he pursues and pressures you, then you know you got to get out of here. But if you openly taking drinks and you openly doing, you know, taking what he's giving you, then you can't be too shocked at the outcome of what just happened to you. So then if you know that this is what happened, don't wait 30 years to come forward. Like, you got to tell your story now. And that's what, like, with today, like, everybody wants to come forward. So it's like, okay, if y'all wait this long, like, who's really telling the truth? Like, and then you get the media involved. So now that one person who probably really was raped and really been living this scarred life, ain't nobody listening to her because you got 6 other people who just out here crying wolf and just want to see a nigga, or anybody just want to see them on a downfall. So now that one person who really life is really messed up, ain't nobody believing or trying to listen to your story because 7 other people then lied.
Okay. Now, just to give everybody a heads up in regard, or give a little synopsis of the situation at hand. Like Juan said, when the allegations of the Bill Cosby case first came out, Bill had literally almost more than 50 women who had accused that over the years, definitely since his claim to fame, that they have had sexual accounts with, Mr. Cosby, and some of those were under the influence. Now, me and Teresa was talking about this yesterday. It is a tricky situation. It's a tricky situation. It's a slippery slope. For an example, me and the crew can all go out drinking and partying. Okay, we can go out. We can have fun. We can get sloppy drunk. While getting drunk, some young ladies with the young lady could make advances towards me for me to want to go back and party with her. Now, I'm drunk, so I don't have 100% full understanding of what's going on, but I do know that there's some pussy involved, and I throw caution to the wind and stand in the rain. Okay? So I go back with her. We're doing it, and I sober up a little bit, realizing where I am, but since, like men like me would think, I'm already in the pussy, even if I stop and go home because I feel bad about it, I'm still been in the pussy, so fuck it, let's just finish this. And I'll worry about the consequences later. We both wake up the next day, or she wakes up the next day, realize what just happened, fear of, her life now being changed. She immediately goes back and says, Tone raped me. Okay? Now, the whole bar scene is leave together, but of course her defense is, the house, I told him I didn't want to do it no more. He said, well, we here now, let's do this. And it's her word against mine. Unfortunately, we live in a society where the men, unless there's a video proof showing us saying, no, I don't want to do this with you, I want to go home, I don't want nothing to do with this, and she says, you gonna give me the dick or I'm gonna do this, we automatically are found guilty in the eyes of society. We are automatically accused of being right, even if Bill Cosby got proved innocent. After everything was said and done, we found out that every single woman lied. NBC put them up to this to destroy his character because they didn't want him owning the company or whatever the accusations was going on at the time. His reputation is still damaged. Okay, he is still looked at in the eye. And me and Juan we have people that we associate with that the minute something that happens to women is announced, they are gung ho in destroying that particular male. That male is the scum of the earth. Don't know the whole story, but he's scum of the earth. Okay. The thing about it is after all 50 of these women went to the original trial, and the original trial got thrown out, one lady named Adrienne Constant went for a retrial. And that's how we got where we are today. She went for a retrial. The reason why she was able to get a retrial, because of course, like I told people previously before, it's not why a person is going to trial, it's what they're on trial for. It's how they're being tried. He actually messed around with her about 14 years ago. That's why she was able to get the radar and was able to take him back to court. Now, here's the issue with this particular young lady and what has came out about her particular situation. Bill Cosby, in her case, has paid her off previously before. Up to about $3.4 million has been given to her. School has been paid for. Cars have been paid for. Homes have been paid for. In so many words, she was a sugar baby, and Bill Cosby was her sugar daddy. Okay? Bill Cosby was her sugar daddy. What I've come to the realization after doing my research before doing this episode is I feel like when the other lady, specifically Janice Dickinson, who we all couldn't believe her if we tried because she couldn't stay to her story to save her life. She couldn't. So I don't know if she just was upset that he wouldn't love her no more back in the days, and she seen a way to jump on the bandwagon to get him back, or if, honestly, she was lying. We don't know, but she, in so many words, fucked up the whole original case. I feel like this young lady was getting upset because she was getting cut off. And we all know that females can kind of be vindictive. When they don't get their way, they don't think, and they go in and create a scenario that's above and beyond what it really was. The thing about it is I don't think Bill used drugs with this particular lady. I think that she seen an opportunity. She jumped on it, thinking Bill would return back to her and continue their sugar baby lifestyle. And it didn't work out that way. He didn't come back, so she pushed the issue again because after seeing why the original case was thrown out, she still had a court case that she could still push against. That's just me. Okay. Now, another thing is why her case stuck. And this is the thing that kind of questioned me in regards to it. This particular young lady, the courts were able to argue that that she wasn't trying to use sex to make her advancement with Bill, like a lot of the other young ladies kind of was, because she's a lesbian. So the fact of her being a lesbian and the fact that Bill wanted the fact of drugs being introduced in the situation is kind of where the force is, because of course, like they want you to think, if you're a lesbian, you don't want to sleep with anybody. No man is desirable to you. So in order for this, at the time, 70-something, 65-year-old man to allow this 65-year-old man to hump on you, drugs have to be involved. So that's kind of one of the leading defenses that they use to push it forward, which sucks. It really does. So the next question, of course, is what's next? The what's next in regards to everything, of course, is Bill Cosby has been found guilty. Now, if you've never been to trial, or you've never ever been in court, you don't get your verdict right away. The verdict sometimes can take anywhere between before it's actually issued out, because a lot of stuff does have to be weighed from the judge to decide what the amount of the sentence is in regards to it. It can take up to 3 months, people. Doesn't mean it does take up to 3 months. Sometimes when the verdict is issued by a judge, sometimes the judge can make the decision right away, so things can get processed. When a grand jury or a jury is involved, they have to come up with the verdict. After the verdict is done by the jury, they have to come up with the sentencing based on what he was being tried for. In this particular case, he can get a maximum of 10 years per each case. Per each charges that was brought up against him. He was found guilty on 3 of them, so he can get a maximum of 30 years. Let's be honest. Bill Cosby is not living past 110 years, no matter.
Man, he ain't lasting a couple of years.
I mean, for all we know, he might die in the next couple of years. I feel, and let me see how you guys, how do you feel that this will reflect on his legacy now? Because I feel like this is the guilty. Yeah, I feel like this is the Benoit effect in so many words. For you non-wrestling fan, what the Benoit effect is Benoit had a phenomenal career in ring, But during his last days on this earth, he committed double homicide, suicide, um, and because of that, he has been erased in so many words out the history books from the wrestling community, where he is spoken, but he is not spoken of. If that makes any sense. So let's start with you, Juan. How do you feel that these rape cases that's been going on for like the last couple of years will do in regards to Bill Cosby's legacy? Like, do you feel that now, as time goes on, we will begin to look at him more as the last or will we look at him as the guy who put every black person in Hollywood on?
Well, I think Bill Cosby's gonna have like the Michael Jackson effect. Like Michael Jackson was a very talented artist. It is like, and like when you bring up Michael Jackson, it's like nobody really brings up the fact that he was accused of being a child molester. I mean, sure, you get a joke here and there, but like no one really talks about it anymore. I think that's because time, people, as time goes on, people let stuff go. Now, with Bill Cosby actually being convicted of being a rapist, I mean, hey, they forgave Mike Tyson. I mean, that ain't really saying a whole lot because it's Mike Tyson, but still, at the same time, I think as we go on, people gonna pick and choose what side they stand on. Like, either stand on the side that, well, Bill Cosby was a rapist, and Bill Cosby hurt a lot of innocent women. Or you gonna stand on the side, well, Bill Cosby also, put a lot of black people on. Like, there are gonna be some people that's gonna condemn him for being a rapist or whatever. I guess that's what he was convicted of. And you gonna have people stand on the side that was like, well, he did this for black people and he did this for TV, and he was the ideal image of what a dad is supposed to be as far as, black people go, and a TV dad. But hey, man, everybody not perfect. Even the most squeaky clean people on TV got to do worse shit in their closet. Like, some people do cocaine to show up to work every day, normal. And when they go home, they do coke. And when Bill went home, he was sexually harassing people. I don't really know, but that's how people gonna look at it. Some people gonna stand on one side of the fence. Some people gonna stand on the other side.
What about you, Jacob? Do you feel that this has tarnished his legacy? And
I don't know. I really don't know. Like Fresh just said, there's some people on both sides of the fence. And a lot of people have been saying for years how he should go down for this and go down for that. And they really ain't like him anyway. So, I mean, now it's a proven fact that he has a conviction on his belt. I don't know, man. I mean, I agree with you when you were saying earlier, shoot, he ain't going to make it that long anyway in that situation. Age-wise, I don't know. My question is, like he's not going to be, well, I don't know, because like you said, the sentences haven't come forth, but he ain't in protective custody or anything, then it's going to be an issue because
he chilling at the crib.
But I'm saying, you know how they feel on the inside about people like rapists and child molesters, and there's certain things when you go on the inside and they know that you've done certain stuff, you get caught up in there.
But you have to remember, now we have to throw something in there. He's 80 years old. Okay, so he's a very frail man.
And I know that.
And
I guarantee you.
But he won't get.
No.
Here's the thing. Because of his age.
What'd you say?
Because of his age, he won't get put in like a maximum security kind of situation. Then if you add the fact that he is a Hollywood figure, because of that, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
famous people don't always go to the same jail that everybody else goes to.
Yeah.
Okay, with the
Yeah.
exception of Mike Tyson and Tupac, because they're niggers, not black people. They were niggers. They got put with other niggers. No, you laugh, but I'm being honest with you. You have to look at.
I'm laughing at the way you just said that. Go ahead.
They're niggers, and you look at them from the eyes of society. Society will see them as niggers. You see Mike Tyson as a nigger. You see Tupac as a nigger. Even though these are two probably humble, lovingest people in the world, Mike is actually funny when you sit down and listen to him. And the fact that if you ever watch his HBO special, he's a product of a failed society. Okay, even to this day, he tells you he doesn't know how to read, he doesn't know how to write. His daughters have to help him even make text messages. Like he's what happens when you let kids slide through the crack. So boxing is all he had. No, he probably had no father figure who told him, "Hey, bruh, just because you got money don't mean that everybody wants you. Just because you famous doesn't mean everybody wants you." Okay, and his rape case, and I think this is where as men we gotta tread the water. We can't say, "Oh man, I don't think he did it. She really wanted it," because we automatically become racist. That's kind of why I wanted a female on this episode.
Oh, I'll never say that.
Yeah.
I'll never say that. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like, oh, these guys are just standing up for Bill Cosby. No, we're not standing up for. We've all said that if 50 women come out of nowhere, say, Jacob grabbed my booty, and we know you a man of God in the church and whatnot, we're not going to say all 50 women is honestly saying you grabbed their booty, but at least 3 of them is telling the truth. Okay?
Yeah.
At least 3 of them is telling the truth. And that's usually enough for the society to say, nigga, stop grabbing ass. You know? And that's basically what the situation is. Like, so it's not saying that he didn't put women in the situation. What we're saying is out the 50, 25 of them was probably down with it because of the situation, and they felt bad because what was promised didn't come forth. Like, Bill promised to put you on and get you greatness, and he may have got your foot in the door, but because somewhere along the line you didn't make it, you blame Bill. Okay. You didn't go to that particular interview because you felt like this role is beneath you or whatever the case may be. Bill may have did his part for those 25 out of 50, so that's on you. You can't be mad at Bill. Then you got another 10 where Bill really did lie to you. Like, hey, baby, you come back to this room. Hold on, is that you, Juan?
That's it?
Yeah.
All that know
Yeah, it usually is one. So, you know, the other 10 more, Bill probably flat up lied to him and said, hey, I'm going to put you on, baby. I'm going to go ahead and help you out. I'm going to get you where you need to be at. Let's go back to my room and let's party a little bit more. And they party and they do what they do, and Bill loses their number. I'm not going to say Bill didn't do it. They may have consent to go back to the room and do whatever happened, but Bill was bullshitting you. He wasn't going to put you on. So Bill disappeared. Bill raised the body there.
But see, even in that situation, and I was talking to some women about this, in that situation, like we were saying earlier, they knew what was going on going back to the room. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a catch-22 because
it is.
Like, I mean, the casting, they always talk about the casting couch. Me acting and all that kind of stuff and going out for roles and auditioning. I do that a lot.
Slept with a lot of people to get these extra roles.
But see, I always
casting couch.
I've always heard these stories about stuff that happened back there just to make sure you quote unquote seal the deal where you can get this actual role or whatever the case may be. And
I'm glad you bring that up.
Like y'all was saying earlier, somebody, you already know what's going on. I think it was Prince said that. You know why you going back? Come on, you going to his room.
Now I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm gonna go to his room with you.
Now, being where we are today, and the original case and the original accusations and everything that came out, a positive that did come out that situation was the Me Too movement.
Uh-huh.
Now, the Me Too movement, for listeners who didn't know, because I didn't realize it was so many people not following the case because they just didn't want to follow the case.
Oh, man.
I did. Like, a lot of the women that I asked and how they felt about the question and whatnot, a lot of them said, oh, I wasn't following the case. Some even said, I don't care what a famous person does. It doesn't affect my life, so I don't care. And I'm like, okay, cool. You ain't got to be all angry. I'm just asking a question. No, but for those of y'all who don't know, the Me Too movement, what that did was it opened the door to allow people to come out and talk about sexual assault, sexual harassment experience. The biggest thing that came out of it was a lot of people from Hollywood came out, and we ended up getting the resignation. And I don't know, did Harvey Weinstein ever go to court, ever go to trial, or was just all these accusations?
No. Well, I think I can't remember. I don't think he ever even went to court.
Yeah,
the trial.
But I just know
I don't even think he did.
All I know was it came out that basically in Hollywood, there's a lot of people that use their power for wrong. This is a silver lining. This is a silver lining in the situation. I'm glad a lot of white men got exposed because white people tend to get away with shit because they white. And I'm not saying that.
Or they rich.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, man. I said, or they rich. Or they rich.
Well, usually in these cases, they're both. But what ends up happening is sometimes the white man tends to get off on these situations. They have a legal team, or they do the distraction where they focus on something else outside of what they're doing. Well, Weinstein literally could not dodge the situation at hand. At this point in time, Weinstein literally had so many women throughout Hollywood, even a man. I'm not mad at Terry Crews. I'm not mad at Terry Crews. I'm just mad it was Terry Crews more so than anything.
Yeah, but see, that's the issue. A lot of people they don't believe it when it happens to a man. It's like what? Well, that's kind of crazy. Like, how can you? But there's a lot of men out here that have went through that. And they won't say nothing because they know people don't believe them.
True. Because most of the time it has to be a homosexual situation for society to see. At the end of the day, when there's a rape situation, the man can never be the victim unless it's by another man. So at the end of the day, whenever a rape situation comes up, a man is always the villain in the story. Because man is stronger.
These women of our days.
I'm not saying that, but here's the defense, and here's the defense that goes along with that. Unless a gun is put to the head, unless a physical threat is made towards something that's very valuable and important to them, the answer is, if your dick gets hard, you consent it. This is what has always been used in trial.
That's some bullshit.
This is what has always been used in trial. Now, the thing about it is the only way that you can get around that back in the days is if a toxology was taken and it was proved that a performance enhancement drug was in your system. Because, of course, anybody who's ever used Viagra know you ain't got to do nothing. Pop this Viagra and the dick does the rest itself. But that's the whole thing. It's like, as a dude, I can sit here and say, no, I don't want you. I don't want to touch you. Get off me. I don't want to get down with you. But if I get pinned down and you actually now has taken the dick in so many words, I'm either exactly. You see how the laughter right there happened when you think of a man losing to a woman. You can't come out about that.
But bruh, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know how many people will be honest with you. It's some women out here, dude, and I've been in contact with that they worse than men. Like they'll take it.
And I'm
just saying.
I'm not saying they won't.
And I'd be like,
I'm not saying they won't. But let's be blatantly honest with ourselves. To be in that situation, there has to be some kind of threat, either on my direct life or my family life, for us to not consent to it. If a big booty chick who's fine as hell comes up to you and says, "Hey Jacob, give me that dick now," 9 times out of 10, because the way the male mind thinks, we're going to agree. But that one person is going to be like, "No, I don't want you." And if she tries to force you to do it and you do it, nobody will believe you, because we're going to look at that girl and be like, "Nigga, you hit that. Don't even lie." Like, why would you lie like that?
And see, that's what I keep saying. I keep telling y'all I'm different. I'm a different type of dude, man. I ain't like everybody else.
That's why I said that stuff, 1 out of 10. I said that 1 out of 10.
Yeah, it has to be in a situation. So with me, I don't have that problem. Because if certain things ain't right.
But if she wants
I've had women mad at me.
If she wants it,
even if she wants it,
and she's going to take it from you.
But even if she wants it,
what I'm saying is, if you get in that situation where she has taken it from you, you now feel like less of a man, so you try to go and tell authorities she took it. They're going to look at you like, first of all, that's bullshit because she too fine. I would go ahead and hit that since you want to act like you didn't want it. And then 2, because you have the penis, it's going to get thrown out. They're not going to believe you because you got hard to have the sex. If she put her mouth on it, you didn't try to get away from it. Top of you didn't try to throw her off of it. If you hitting it from the back, you clearly had time to run away. The thing about it is once the sex has occurred, especially with men, we say fuck it and continue on with it, regardless if she forced it on us or not, because once the dick has entered into the pussy, there is nothing else we can do but enjoy the moment and hope this bitch ain't got the clap.
That's that weak shit. So your weak numbers.
I'm just saying, even if she put a gun to her head and force it, that's basically where we are.
I'm just saying, I don't have that issue. I've had women get mad at me because certain things ain't right. I ain't right. Real talk. And I don't know if other men go through this.
No, but you want to be the nice guy.
Certain stuff ain't lined up right. Regardless of what I do, there is no me getting hard or standing up. It's just not happening.
Pause. Please.
I'm just being real with you.
Use a different terminology instead of saying.
I said standing up.
Just say I don't. Sometimes I don't be in the mood. Use that. Sometimes he just doesn't want to party.
Okay.
Use that.
So I don't be in the mood then.
Different.
It's just certain things that
you know what, and
it don't take me there.
We gonna have an episode of One Shot where I'm gonna sit you down with the therapist and we gonna go over your problems. Here we go. Because I am not
going through therapy again.
Because a lot of your problems. No, seriously, a lot of your problems is mental. Literally, it's mental.
Yeah, it is. I ain't gonna deny that.
And if you take that block off your mental, you wouldn't have problems. You yourself from enjoying life. Okay.
But it's a good thing that sometimes,
How? If you're not enjoying life, if you wasted the last 5 years of your life calling yourself
with all this, no, bruh. Real talk. It's if you don't have it, you don't miss it.
Yes,
I'm just being honest.
You had it before. You know what? We are not going to make this show about you.
And I'm not.
Shut up, then.
No, you do that anyway.
No,
y'all do that anyway. Not. Make the show surrounding me. So
you got defensive when I used you as an example.
Okay,
That's
go ahead. Go ahead. Next.
I use you as an example. But no, getting back to this case in point. talking on a situation, there are other people out there in the community who we have not even put forth an effort to make them pay for their crime. Example, Robert Kelly has been filmed, accused, recorded, documented, and exposed that he likes touching on little kids. Ever since his introduction when he supposedly married Aaliyah to the sex house that he has right now. R. Kelly has a problem. But yet
got a great legal team.
No, I'm getting there. Well, that's because they had a video where we couldn't clearly tell that was Robert Kelly, even though we know that was Robert Kelly, which even turned into the humor on the Boondocks of the trial of Robert Kelly. To me, hands down, probably one of the top 5 episodes on the Boondocks.
How y'all gonna tell me that that's not him? That's clearly him.
The courts couldn't. You got to remember, back in the days, dog, video footage was not the HD quality we have now today. So, but you can't just automatically say that's Robert Kelly. Look, you got Tupac that worked the eyeglass place.
So you saying that it was a stunt double?
I'm not saying it was a stunt double. I'm just saying because the courts could not 100% prove that was Robert Kelly, they had to let it go. See, that's the thing. We know that that's R. Kelly, but the judicial system is not about what's obvious, it's what's proven. I can go shoot a man right now, and you can see that I have on the Kohl's hoodie that I always wear when I go to and from work. But because anybody can own a Kohl's hoodie, there are other black men that work at Kohl's, and city of Milwaukee, there are a lot of people who drive around. Impalas are everywhere. Unless you can 100% prove that was my Impala, that was me wearing that particular hoodie on that day, I can get off not guilty because we can't 100% prove that was me. That's what happened with Robert Kelly. The problem with that is we still support him on top of all the foolishness he does. And yes, it is 100% foolishness because this man keeps doing shit that keeps making it obvious, and we keep supporting him. We keep buying this. Like when Robert Kelly was on trial, he turned around and made Trapped in the Closet. You could not. No, and you think about it, dog. Trapped in the Closet was like awesome.
I'm sorry.
So we forget. So we look past it. The man was basically, in so many words, telling us, we out here, fucking everything. But because it was such a great episodic series that everybody and their mama loved, we let Robert Kelly slide. They loved it, yeah. We let Robert Kelly slide. Yeah. And now, he out here doing stuff again. First of all, he's a 40, 50-year-old man dressing like the Migos, which that right there is wrong. I'm serious. When an old person starts dressing like a young person, that's usually the indicator that he's trying to hang around the young crowd. And why would...
Well, duh.
Okay? So why would you want to hang around the young crowd when most of the young crowd don't even listen to your music? You're not that generation's music. What you should be doing is trying to play up these clubs and go do these chitlin circuits and go hang, at the Comet Lounge in the comfort zone where women your age actually
So what you saying is,
Go get some work, then. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying you need to go find women your age. And I get it. I'm not defending him, but I get it. Like, as we get older and the kind of women we like, we tend to hold on to that image. Unfortunately, the image of the kind of women we like, we create when we're young, when we're 20, 21, 22. You know, like I like light-skinned, slim women with the big forehead. Okay? So what happens is because I pictured the type of woman that I like when I was 21, when the 23, 24-year-old woman who fits this description happens to be in the area, it might catch my. It does not mean I need to go up and introduce myself to her, unless I'm trying to get her mama's number. I have to learn how to readjust my views of the kind of women I like to fit the kind of women I'm around. And it doesn't help because like me and Juan have a huge age gap between us. It's not a bad thing, but it's like the kind of women that's in my age gap and the kind of women that are in Juan age gap sometimes can look completely different. Okay? So if I'm always around Juan, Mimi, Monte, and them, I will always look older. Minus like if we go ahead and dye my gray hairs and whatnot. If I dyed all that right there, got the dental fix and everything, which will happen, and I go out hanging out with my crew, I'm still going to look like the older one, the oldest of the crew, because I'm naturally older than all of them. Okay, it's just bound. That's just how I look.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be in my best interest to always shoot my shot first at somebody who happens to be kicking with us all together. That's in one age category, because they'll look at me like, "Yo, bro, why is your older brother hitting on me?" And it might be creepy to them. Meanwhile, I might not be solely attracted to the women in my age category because time has caught up with them. that cute girlish figure that turned my head when we were 25, now that we're 38, 39, 40, you let that shit go. Whatever dude you were last dating, you felt like you didn't need to be sexy no more. So now you back out here in the dating world and everything is not in places it used to be. Titties hang lower, guts a little bit bigger, wider. Do I want all of that? So I can understand the need to want to step out your zone.
Where are you going with this?
But what I'm saying,
I don't know where you.
But what I'm saying is, R. Kelly went a little bit too far down. Like, bro is in his 50s. The lowest he's allowed to go is 30.
Okay, we still talk about R. Kelly. Okay, because I got confused.
Yeah, you walked away for a minute and came back. No. He's in his 50s.
It's some kind of evil confession time.
No, not at all, sir. Not at all. The lowest he's allowed to go is 30. The lowest is allowed he can go is 30. But he doesn't want to stay there. He wants to go 25, 24, 21, 18. That's the problem. Like, them are your grandkids that you fucking with now.
R. Kelly out here just like a ghetto superhero fan.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. He's been telling you for years something ain't right. He calls himself the Pied Piper of R&B. If you don't know the story of the Pied Piper stole kids. Why is nobody questioning this? Why is no one bringing this to the forefront? Why? Why are we okay?
Hey man, when you good at your job, brother, they forgive you.
Now,
like,
that's where.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like, when you think about like all the bad stuff people do, or not even so much as bad, but the stuff that is just morally wrong, well, will be considered bad. As long as you got talent, sometimes like your contribution to other things that don't have nothing to do with your moral compass, people forgive you for it. Like Ray Lewis killed 3 people, come back and win a Super Bowl and is looked at as the greatest linebacker ever, and he prays and there's all this stuff in the community, but nobody brings up the fact that Ray Lewis was on trial for murder.
So here's my question about that. So where does the line of "we forgive you" draw at? Like, we forgive you. R.
Like,
Kelly
I
because
don't think
you made the music that helped me produce these 3 kids right here. But we don't forgive Bill Cosby, even though it happened 50 years ago.
to be honest, like I think like everything has its moment. And right now this is just Bill Cosby's moment. Like life in some respects is like Twitter. Like remember when like if you were the topic of Twitter for like an hour, that could be like the worst hour in your life because jokes is just coming nonstop. Every time you update every time you refresh the timeline, there's more jokes. But as soon as something happens to somebody else, you are not the topic of conversation anymore.
Unless the jokes were good.
Fabulous was, but I'm saying that like Fab was all over the news for allegedly knocking his baby mama's teeth out and beating up Emily B. And a week has gone by. Fab is back on Instagram. He's taking these fly pics. Fab is back to being Fab. Nobody's talking about him punching his baby mama, knocking her teeth out. But everybody's harping on Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Bill Cosby is what's hot right now. Like, Nas just said, like Khalid just admitted to Nas beating on her, but ain't nobody talking about Nas.
No, that was going to be the next.
Everybody talking about Bill Cosby right now.
That's the next thing I was going to roll
into. But I'm saying though, like life moves, and whoever is the focal point of attention. Like Kanye just said he down with Trump, but don't know anybody paying attention to Kanye right now because Bill Cosby did it.
Well, that's because Kanye he's in a sunken place.
Is a nigger and a coon. Fuck dog. If he wake up, I hope he go back to sleep.
I'm telling you, this is exact. Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian family ruin niggers. They ruin niggers.
Yeah, Lamar Odom was a crackhead, or recovering crackhead, I should say.
But Lamar Odom would have never touched cocaine. James Harden got the fuck up out of there before it became a problem.
Right, he got up out of there.
But didn't he have a terrible season the year he was dating her?
He did. That's why he got up out of there.
He's like, dog, I need this ring. I need this status. I'm out. I'm just saying. But we're not going to talk about the Kardashians because that's a whole Illuminati story within itself.
That's a whole nother subject.
But all right. So that's the question.
I just
who do we forget? Who do we choose to forgive and why? Like, I feel like Bill Cosby will never be forgiven. I mean, everybody will continue to still watch the Cosby Show because let's be honest, that was our dad. You know, he did come out.
I think we'll watch. I think we'll watch the Cosby Show based on the fact that we grew up with it, but we identify with the characters of the Cosby Show. Like, I mean, true enough, you know, everybody didn't have a Claire and a Heathcliff, but everybody had a little bit of Theo, and then with just constantly making like the smallest mistakes, but it just be so monumental because it was that stupid. Like, everybody's got a little Theo in them. Everybody's got a little Vanessa in them. Like, so we identify with the children of the Cosby Show, even if we don't forgive Bill. Like, we still rock with the kids.
I'm just saying. Not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying. But yeah, we definitely. I hate to say it, but I feel like Bill's legacy has been tarnished. I feel like he probably will die within. He probably will die within the next 5 years, and I'm not wishing death on him. I'm just saying the stress and strain of everything going on with this situation is gonna make his heart give out. But because of the way his last days of his life is, he's not going to get the memorial he deserves. He's not going to get the honoring that he deserves. He's not the accolades he deserves. Like, they actually took all his awards and his honors and his degrees from him when he was found guilty, which threw me off because if you earned the degree, who said you had the right to take it from me? which I never understood that they do that. Like, if OJ went out there and bust his ass to earn that Heisman, who said you have the right to take the Heisman Trophy from him? I always wondered that.
The people that say you shouldn't kill other people, my nigga.
If I won first place in a spelling bee, but cheated on a math test, does that give you the right to take my spelling bee award?
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
I don't care what.
Yes, it does.
That's just like saying if Benoit,
first of all,
if Benoit got Nobel Peace Prize, killed kids while under dementia, you go take his Peace Prize from him.
They do whatever, like put it like this: until there is somebody who says you can't do it, they can do whatever they want to do.
Everybody says you can't do it, but they still do it because they don't want. People are so worried about their name not being associated with a situation that they pull it. Oh, we're going to take down the statue. Yeah. Like, Bill Cosby put more black people in college than anybody in history, and he didn't even give them a dime. They were eager to go to college because of Bill Cosby.
But you know what it was? But here's it's not the race card. It's the woman card. Like, if Bill
that's
Cosby
the problem.
Was just out here. If Bill Cosby was just out here slapping grown men and got charged for, like, just beating up people, he'd be swept under the rug. Like, Bill Cosby acting crazy again. He's off his meds. But no, Bill hurt women. And you know that women movement get real strong, bro. Like,
and that's why I said...
We live in Wisconsin, which is a woman's state.
But that's why I said earlier in the show... It doesn't matter if he's guilty or not. If media puts you out there as the bad guy, you're the bad guy for the rest of your life. Bill could have been found guilty, and there will still be those women who will say he's guilty but know nothing about the situation. They will stand there and they will fight it and say, he's guilty, he raped her, he did this, he did that. You can't tell because he's a man, and this is what men do in their eyes. Like, we got, like I said, we got people on Facebook right now that we personally know who is just was so ready to just kill Bill Cosby. I can't believe he did that, but never knew the full extent of the story. They were just, he raped them.
Story.
He took the cookies. Many women came out. He took the cookies. He did all that to all of them. He's a horrible person. Burn in hell. Like, dude, you act like women can't lie. You've lied about stuff in the past. I've had people lie on me about stuff in the past, and it came to light. So, yeah. I'm not saying he didn't do it, but just don't chastise him until you get the proof. Because now his reputation is destroyed. His legacy is destroyed. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody's going to bring up the fact that Bill Cosby made more people go to college. Historically, black colleges had their biggest peaks in the late 90s, late 80s, early 90s because of the Cosby Show in a different world. Nobody's going to talk about that. All they're going to talk about
you ain't going to hear that.
All they're going to talk about is Bill Cosby's out here cheating on his wife and raping women. And it wasn't that he was raping them. It's the fact that he messed with one lesbian woman who the courts believe that she's a lesbian and she's a woman. That's two prominent organizations versus you, Bill. You got to take this L. Because I think that's what someone brought up when I was reading the case, that the fact that she's a lesbian in the lesbian movement era, he wasn't going to win. He couldn't win. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, men, pick and choose what you do carefully. Because that dyke can be your downfall.
Oh, right. Everybody talking about they love these hoes, man. Love them hoes.
Don't love them hoes, man.
Stay away from them hoes.
Stop thinking with your dick. All right. So before we go ahead and close out tonight's show, we're going to talk about one more particular. So the biggest thing that everybody uses when they're talking about this particular case is the fact that the women took so long to come out about the accusations. You know, a lot of them, it happened so long ago. Speaking and bringing and trying to take it to court, it got automatically thrown out because it was too long ago for it to be admissible in court. Recently, Khalees actually came out after her divorce has been finalized for quite some time now from Nas that during their time that they were together, Nas was very abusive. A lot of people are saying that, first of all, this is her basically defamating his character because with the relationship being over and long and gone, there's no justifiable reason for her to even bring up the fact that he used to put her hands on her. Do you feel that Khalees waited too long because she's trying to ruin the name of Nas and being vindictive? Or do you feel like she just finally said something because she felt comfortable enough to say something? We'll start with you, Jacob.
See, I ain't been following that.
Just go back. Literally, I just told you what it was. I literally just gave you the whole story.
I know you did. I don't know. I don't know. Come back to me. That's a good question, huh?
I'm not talking to you no more. What about you, Juan?
No, I'm trying to think. Like,
You suck.
I don't want to just say something then.
Say it. Stop biting your tongue, dog. Just say it. Because the worst that's going to happen is it's going to create more dialogue.
I'm not biting my tongue. I'm just trying to think about the situation, and
stop thinking. Just say.
If I was in that situation, the shoes you feel, what I would, that's all.
Shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody whooping our ass now.
See, you see how Juan just said it? You see how Juan just let it go because that's how he felt in the moment? That is what you need to do, Jacob. You need to just let it go. Stop trying to say what you think. Stop trying to say what you think is the right answer. That's not what radio is about.
No, it's not that. It's not that. Stop it, Cole.
Trying to be the nice guy. Run this shit. Say what's on your mind.
I'm just trying to think of the situation. I ain't trying to be the nice guy. I'm just...
Well, basically the situation is, and I'll give you the full story. Khalees and Nas got married some years back. It was a beautiful match made in hip hop heaven. Okay, you got a great vocalist who phenomenal hooks, and you had literally one of the crown princes of hip hop during his reign on top. They got married. They stayed married for a while, produced a beautiful daughter, got a divorce. The divorce was messy, okay? Because Khalees demanded not only child support, but alimony. Because Nas was at the height of his career during the time, he had this super high child support requirement and this super high alimony pay because Khalees told the judges that during the time of her marriage, because he wanted her to be a stay-at-home wife, she missed out on tons of tour money. And if you know anything about music, tour money is where the artists really make their money at, not album sales. Okay? So she missed out on tons of money because of this particular relationship. All right? Years later on down the road, Nas is not where he used to be at. So Nas went back to court and appealed for a reduction. It required child support and alimony money because due to the fact that his income is not what it was before, trying to meet these demands of this substantially high alimony amount, he can't do that. She's not being restricted to what the restrictions of the marriage was before. So the excuse of her not being able to go out on tour and go make money and all that stuff doesn't hold like it did when the case first came out. Therefore, Khalees was upset because of this account. Now, this wasn't recent. That was about a year or two ago. So for her to now come out in the news and openly say, hey, Nas used to beat on me and done it on the backs of the Me Too campaign, do you feel like she did it because she's being vindictive, Or does the Me Too campaign open her up to finally be honest and say,
okay, no,
he did this to me?
Yeah,
I don't
she
care which
seems
one you speak.
ridiculous. I mean, honestly, well, that's just me. I feel she is. Because
look,
if that was the case...
Is she getting punched in the face now?
Are you for real? Start cleaning that toilet off. Like,
Not by Nas.
I mean, if that's the case, why stay there then? I mean, I understand everybody saying that certain situations...
They're not together no more.
Things
They've been apart
happen
for
where
a
you
while.
can't get out. But if all this was going on, why bring it up now?
Said, that's what I'm saying.
That's my
like,
question.
Bro,
like, why you bringing it up?
Bro, like,
Go
if
ahead.
a nigga robbed me right now, I'm going to the cops right now. Because apparently I would like my stuff back. But niggas was getting robbed and waiting until... you can't get robbed and then wait 10 years. Like, you know what? I should probably say something about that robbery that happened. Like, no, bro, nobody cares. Like, fam probably didn't move to a whole other state. He ain't here no more. Like, it's over. It's game over. And
apparently you can do that.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, fam, Jacob, if I slap you in 97, fam, don't call the cops in 2017. Like, it's over. What they gonna charge me with, bro? All I did was slap you. What they gonna charge me with?
Okay.
But you know, people do hold on to stuff for a long time sometimes.
Okay, and if you got a gun and you holding on to it, tie your heart in that nigga in the parking lot or something. Hit him in the throat. Make sure he can't rap no more. I mean, Jesus. You coming out trying to, like, don't, I would rather some physical get. I would rather you physically try to get me back than to just come out here and tarnish my name. Like, look, fam, don't get out here slandering me, talking about I beat you, especially if I didn't beat you. I probably should beat you now for telling people that I did beat you and it never happened. Like,
and that goes back to the original platform of tonight's topic is men will always be the monsters in a storyline where it's his word versus her word. Now, and I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm not saying that he didn't put his hands on her. I mean, he's a New York nigga, so they kind of rough by nature. But
she shouldn't have made that. She shouldn't have made that song. She shouldn't have been in the studio screaming, "I hate you so much" right now. Probably when
she made that song long before she got with dude. Like, she was still doing hooks for Philly's Most Wanted.
Stupid.
But
man.
Don't be walking around the house singing. Don't walk around the house singing the hook when we arguing and you won't get fired.
But the thing about it is, they're saying
that's all I'm saying.
She's saying that the abuse was not only physical, but it was mental. She said that the whole 5 years of her marriage was toxic and all kind of stuff. So she felt like basically she made a bad choice when she married dude. And 9 years later, she's tired of holding it in. And during an interview, a 2-hour interview, it came out. Now, we all know that I can see how
this is a DJ Vlad.
But whose fault is that, though?
But
this
look,
is a DJ Vlad interview. They were talking to Vlad TV. They had to be.
But think about it, dog. How many times have we done episodes here on Tone Deaf Radio, and because we're diving in the topic, in the middle of the topic out of nowhere, we open up and tell something about us. Like, Jacob, you damn near was doing it for every episode on Sex Battles where you were saying something about your past. So I feel like it came out.
Hey, Chris came out on Sex Battles.
Chris came out on air. So I feel like it's not necessarily.
Yeah, but we already knew he was gay. Like that wasn't no mystery to us. Like, you know, fine. We know you take it in the butt. Who cares?
He ain't been the same
since.
But let's be honest. The homosexual.
It wasn't my fault, though. It was not my fault.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the Khalees situation is the same situation. They're in the conversation, they're talking, we're in the Me Too movement, questions was asked, and she came
Mhm.
out and just revealed her own truth at the same time. And with the fact that
Mhm.
nobody knew
But
about this,
is it a truth? Like, is it her truth though?
well, we
Like,
don't know unless Nas speaks up and
That's the
actually
question.
say, "Hey, bitch, you lying." We don't know. And then even if he does come out and say, "Hey, bitch, you lying," we're in that your word versus my word, and it's we're gonna believe what we want. Especially because like the women got abused by the man. Yeah, yeah, he did it. Or the other thing that happens when storytelling goes on is we believe who said what first. Like I can jump on right now and lie and say, "Hey man, Juan was at the movie theater and he was doing ABCD to himself and had the white guy next to him joining in." And Juan come out and say, "Nah, man, that wasn't me. The white dude was doing that by himself." You might be telling the guy giving truth, but because I told it first, everybody's made up their mind that what I said was the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I said it
That's true.
first.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to cover yourself up. You're deterring the fact that you got exposed. And another
That
thing
does happen a lot.
and that
You're
happens
right.
a lot too. It has nothing to do with whether or not the person
You're
who we're
right.
talking to is telling the truth or not. It's who said it first. Okay. Such and such said
Mhm.
you did this. Oh man, Tone out here doing ABC. Like nigga, I'm was at home. So how could I've done that if I'm at home? Oh nigga, you lying because nobody was at the house with me. I
And
had
don't
nobody
have
who
no
can
proof.
say, yeah, I don't have nobody who can say I was at home because I wasn't with y'all to say, yeah, Tone was at the crib, dog. It's gonna stick because it came
Yeah.
out first, and then I wouldn't have to say, well, I'm at home bored today, unless I had something to cover up. Or if you got friends like ours who can create a story out of thin air, they can make up an
Mhm.
elaborate story with ease. It be their story sometimes, I think. Like, damn, you made that up a little bit too easy. You sure this wasn't you?
Hmm.
That is
we
another
tell no
problem.
lies in this family.
We tell a lot of lies, but we tell them to each other. Because we got a whole brother that's doing a whole lot of lying about a whole baby, but we ain't going to talk about that.
Oh God.
I got you.
But,
I did.
yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that since this happened so long ago and the marriage has been over for about 10 years, why didn't Khalees wait
Mhm.
and bring it out during the time when the Chris Brown Rihanna situation occurred? Because her telling of the story is very similar to the Chris Brown Rihanna situation, that should have triggered an emotion and been the perfect opportunity to jump on that wave and for truth. Why wait until now? But like I said,
That's all I'm asking.
women will not
I just
be okay
you said
with anything men
uh-huh.
do, and we will always be the bad guy to everything
The bad guy. Yeah.
unless we have actual video footage. And like it's to the point right now is a woman could sign a contract saying, "Yeah, let's get down, let's fuck," and still come out and say he raped me because they feel
Yeah.
bad at what they did. Because I think one,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on the Death Fresh show or if we did it on Undress. We talked about the consent app that they created, where before you get it in with somebody, you can both
You got to find it.
sign this
Yeah.
sign this contract online just to cover your butt. And we said why you have to even get to that point. Well, this is the reason why. This is the reason why apps like that
Yeah.
have been created.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
They always lying, man. Like, having bad sex is not a reason to be like, I was raped.
sadly there are women out there that do that. And I'm not sitting and ladies and listeners, specifically the female listeners, we are not sitting here saying that rape is just y'all lying. Like, there are some thirst buckets who don't know what no mean and will take the cookies by any means necessary. We're not saying that we stand by
Yeah.
those people. Those fuckers need to burn in hell. Like, we're talking about, in this moment, the situations when a lady consented to something, regret the decision the next morning for whatever reason. Bad sex, somebody she shouldn't have slept with, the fact that she just realized she's a terrible human being, whatever the situation is, and then change their mind and want to label it as he took advantage of me. Believe it or not, people, that is probably one of the biggest reasons why I'm not a heavy drinker. I am not a heavy drinker. I do not like drunk sex. That is one. Teresa knows that. That's one of the reasons why I ended up being with her, because she's not a drinker. I don't like drunk sex because I don't ever want anybody to say, "Oh, Tone took advantage of me. Tone caught me in a messed up situation." Tone didn't do nothing, because Tone was 100% sober and damn sure made sure you were 100% sober. Oh, but drunk sex is great. Yeah, drunk sex is great for you, but because if you don't want to agree with how we got this, you're going to turn around and say, "Oh my God, Tone raped me." Like, you tell me to put it in your butt and you wake up the next morning with a pain in the ass, you want to say I raped you. Nope, not going to do that. Not going to do it.
Hey, drunk sex do be lit, though.
It be lit, bro, but I'm not doing it.
Wow.
I'm not doing it. Especially if I'm not.
I've done it quite a few times, bro. It's lit. You should really try.
But you did it with your girlfriend, though, right? You did it with your girlfriend, though, right? Not some chick you were just talking to, right?
Uh-oh.
No. That makes because that makes a difference, in my opinion. If it's my girlfriend and we doing it, I'm safe because it's my girlfriend. If we got drunk and got wild,
I mean, we
cool. But
yeah,
if it's
you ain't even safe then now.
Yeah. No,
nowadays you ain't safe though.
Wait a minute. If your girlfriend saying you raped her, that was never your girlfriend to begin with.
No, what I'm saying is, I've seen situations where either they broken up or some BS, some I don't know. And she stuff was said after the fact.
I mean, I won't say that they were my girlfriend, but we had a pretty deep relationship. I've been knowing them for like 5, 6 years. It wasn't like
what kind of relationship is it?
Okay, but but here's my thing about that. Now, even though the likelihood of her coming back saying it's rape because y'all been cool for so long and she probably had feelings for you anyway, so getting it in was just, okay, we getting it in. You decided to say, hey, this was fun, but, we can't do this no more. Let's just still be friends. And she wanted more. She can flip it on you now. She can turn around and say, hey, you took advantage of me. You made me do things because I was drunk and I didn't agree to none of that because I was drunk and I didn't know what was going on. And she's doing this because you didn't want to be in a relationship with her now. That's
exactly what I'm talking about.
That's the scenario that I fear, which is why I don't do drunk sex. Yeah, I'm with Teresa, so I don't have nothing to worry about. But in the dating world, I would not do drunk sex because of that reason right there. Okay? Now, this is my last question.
Yeah.
This is the last question, and I'll go ahead and close out tonight's episode. Should women who make accusations and are false be put on trial?
Should they go to jail?
Should they go to jail?
Well,
so let's say the girl. Let's use the scenario we just did with Juan, where the girl liked him. They got drunk one night. They had sex. Juan didn't want to date
Mm-hmm.
her, so she started saying that Juan raped her. You go to trial,
Mm-hmm.
courts prove Juan did not rape her. It was consent. A lot of stuff proved that it was consent. The text messages that you guys had
Mm-hmm.
back and forth, the conversation even after it, and everything showed that it was consent. Now it's not guilty. Should she now be forced to be put on trial for false accusations and defamation of character?
Yeah, her bum ass should be arrested and held in contempt. She should serve release a mandatory 3 to 6 months.
Okay, that's a decent.
That's
to
all.
Me,
You
to
being
no,
real nice.
That's decent though. That's decent.
I mean, 'cause she's only lying, but apparently, man, if you go to prison for 3 to 6 months, bro, you not gonna lie on nobody else, 'cause prison ain't no walk in the park, my guy. You might fuck around and get raped for real.
I might have to say 1 to 2 years, because if you got found guilty, you can do anywhere from 10 to 15.
Yeah. And see, I was just going to say that. That's why I said that.
And she
because,
lied.
You know, I know a situation here myself that happened, well, it happened years ago. But a young man that was a part of our church got convicted of something that he did not do, which later on through the years, he served over 15 years in jail before it came to light that he was innocent of this crime that he had been. And the problem is getting that stuff expunged off of your record. That's the issue. Regardless of what all is going on and what they said you did, that jumps on your record now.
That's not only that.
So that's why I said that.
Yeah, not only that, but if you ever paid attention to the judicial system, one of the biggest things is in the South, especially in the South. The South has a nasty habit of convicting men, black men, because they want to. So, for an example, I think it was in Mississippi. A young athlete, a young high school athlete. He was top in his city. Was getting ready to go on a full ride scholarship to big prestigious colleges down there to play football. His then girlfriend was 16. Now, have you mind, he's 18 and in high school. Okay, 18 in high school. But because he was 18 and the parents did not agree with the fact that his daughter was dating this guy, we know why.
Yeah.
But he got arrested for statutory rape and got convicted for statutory rape.
I believe it.
Now, sometimes,
especially in the South.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And in the South. Now, when you go back and you look at it, and I don't like to put race on everything, but if we boil down to it, it was a black guy dating a white girl. That was the number one reason. You know, that's what it boiled down to. But the thing about it was it made me think about the laws of statutory rape and things about what can be considered rape. If my teenage daughter, okay, is 18, 19 years old, and her boyfriend, good Christian boy, like him whole 9 yards, is 16, 17 years old because she met him in school. If his mom doesn't like my daughter for whatever reason, this can be used. You can come have my daughter arrested. And I don't think that's right. I think that they need to revise some of these laws to take in accountability the full situation. And because it's up to the judge.
And the scary thing. Go ahead.
No, and my thing about the situation was I was upset because this young man had a very bright future, and because of the pettiness of a dad who probably doesn't even care about what he did, just caused this young man to go to jail. Another young lady, and I remember this too, similar situation, lied and said one of the high school football players raped her. He ended up doing 10 years, after being in jail for 10 years, she come and confess she lied about it. But nothing happened to her. That's my whole thing. Where is the justice in the situation? This guy lost 10 years of his life off of a lie. Emmett Till got killed off of a lie. But no justice is being served off of this lie. So, yeah.
And depending on race, it won't get served.
And
I'm
sadly,
just
that's
being
true.
honest.
I mean, that is a true
They don't
statement.
care. It is what it is. So, yeah, I think something should be done about that because it happens a lot.
Sadly, it does.
That's what we ain't seeing it, and they ain't talking about it. Don't mean it's not going on because we probably won't hear about it anyway.
This is a true
But
statement.
yeah,
But the community as the black community. Go ahead. What you
I'm
say,
just saying,
Juan?
man, they don't care about us. They don't care about us.
They don't.
no.
All right.
They don't
So,
care about us as black people. They don't care about us as men. They don't care about us as black men. They really don't fuck with us.
You are correct, sir.
I
Well,
agree.
the black community as a whole has openly said that they're confused about the situation. A lot of stuff in regards to it doesn't sound right. You do have some of those who have said, hey, if the man is guilty, he did what he did, he deserved to go to jail. A lot of people are just confused about how all this went down. Why did this just now go down? And this won't change the way they view Cliff Huxtable. and the intricate part of society that he portrays. Because like girl that said on one of our friends' posts, like that was her father every Thursday. You know, growing up without an actual real dad, Bill actually showed us, or Cliff actually showed us that, you know, this is how real men are supposed to be. And you're not going to take that away from us. And a lot of this that happened only happened because of who he was and the fact that now we're in a day and age where you can get in trouble for stuff that was considered normal and okay back in the days. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying don't let it go. All I'm saying is it's kind of too late for him. For him. There's so many other people you could focus on. You guys could took all this energy and focus it on putting R. Kelly in jail.
Right, like how is this nigga still free is the question. Like bro,
R.
he
Kelly
is on camera, he is documented, like nigga is running a sex cauldron out of his house, like this is ridiculous, bro. And he's still free, yet they is locking niggas up for just being black.
I mean, I wouldn't say being black. I would say they locking somebody up who had party pills in the 70s, and somebody felt, and a sugar baby was highly upset that her cash flow.
I wasn't speaking about Bill Cosby, bro. I wasn't. I don't give a fuck about dog no more. Like, look, the nigga's 80, fam. I'm just saying, bro. Either he's gonna die in jail, or he's gonna die at home. Either way, he out of here. He could,
but he's a danger to society, right?
So first of all, the nigga who was selling Bill drugs is the person who's a danger to society. Hey, you don't think Bill was just growing Quaaludes? Like, nah, man, you gotta get these from somewhere. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Well,
Bill was just a hustler. Bill was just a customer, and he was buying drugs. That's it. Right, like everybody want to talk about this rape. Why didn't they give Bill Cosby counseling? He's a drug addict. He's addicted to drugs. Where is this counseling?
My whole thing is Bill Cosby, when the last particular situation occurred, the one that got occurred in 2004. My question is why is Bill Cosby out here still trying to fuck? You are in your 70s, bruh. At that point, at that point in time, your heart cannot handle that kind of activity.
For real. For real.
Like
Even
you need
seeing
to
a
be,
woman naked, like,
you need to be, you need to be worried about your high blood pressure pills. You need to be worried about your your food intake. You need to be at home making sure what you eating don't got that much sodium in it. Not trying to get your dick sucked, bruh. So on that account, yeah, he deserves what happened to him because at that point in time, you too old to be thinking with your dick still. So
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
at that point, at that age, yeah. Now if he wasn't fucking with,
Where is the?
and where is
Just like, tell me where Bill getting the jokes. Just tell
where
me
was
where Bill getting the jokes from.
where no where was Camille? Because this was going on for about 10 years, at least about the last chick. Where was Camille? Where was Camille at
Okay,
doing all
First
this?
off, I
another
heard
thing.
that.
Here's another question that they're not asking. Why are we not trying Camille? How do we know she wasn't in on the whole shebang? How do we know?
Because
How do we
women,
know Camille wasn't fishing out chicks to bring to the room? Yeah, everybody want to paint Bill as the bad guy. Maybe his wife is the bad guy too. Just saying. You don't
I'm
condemn
You can
you
send,
don't condemn people. Condemn everybody.
because I'm gonna
you can
say if
send
he,
all your emails to home.
I mean that no, seriously, that is a valid question. If 50 women came forth and said Bill was doing all of this and that, where was Camille? Camille had to have known something, but Camille still stayed.
Cause she was getting Bill bitches, man. Camille was getting Bill hoes.
No, you can't.
That's
Are
Hold
you
on, hold on,
saying,
that's a
hold on. Now that we did look, we do live in an era, or they did live in an era where swinging was natural. See,
well, yeah.
we tend to forget about stuff,
Camille was bringing chicks to the party.
or Camille was
Like, come
throwing
on,
the
man.
party.
They've been married for how long? And
True.
apparently Bill's been cheating since forever. Ain't no way she wasn't involved in this.
Or knew.
Maybe that's where Bill got the drugs from.
She
Maybe
definitely
she
knew.
supplied the Quaaludes. Maybe she supplied the girls. Camille has some level of involvement, and Bill knew the heat was coming down. He was like, I don't want you involved in none of this, so I'm just gonna take all the rap. Because he don't want his wife to go out like that, but she has some involvement, some level of involvement. Now we can't say this on Facebook because women will go batshit crazy
They
and
always
be
go
like,
batshit
y'all
crazy.
niggas is tripping. Y'all niggas is tripping. But hey, first of all, that's a good question. Though, where was Camille?
Where was Camille? Because during the whole trial, she wasn't even there. I don't even think she was by his side for some of this. Rudy Huxtable was by his side, not Camille. No, you laughing, but I'm serious. Rudy was by his side during the first trial.
I'm laughing because I'm picturing this in my mind. Go ahead.
Camille, so Camille out here destroying evidence on the low. They thought they got off with the first trial because everything got tossed out. But the sugar baby lesbian
Mm.
who Bill thought he paid off to shut up came back forward and is what got him locked down. Now my whole thing is I don't think at the end of the day Bill is going to get a super high sentence. I think Bill is going to get, I wouldn't call it a light sentence, but he's going to get an old man sentence because it don't make no sense trying to throw somebody in butt pounding jail when getting up to get a pudding pop could kill you. So I'm just
Hmm.
saying.
Bill still eating pudding pops?
Bruh, at this point in time, the only thing he could probably digest is pudding.
Hey, you probably got a point there.
I'm just saying, bro. In your 80s, I don't see you being able to eat solid foods.
I mean, they freed Meek Mill. Why are they still picking on Cosby?
because Meek Mill did his time, so he don't have to have the court still. That's what they did. Had they left Meek Mills, I mean, if Meek Mills tried to stay out and tried to do the probationary thing with the bracelet, Meek Mills was gonna constantly keep getting fucked with. So he just said, "Fuck it, let me go back, let me do this time, let me clear this stuff and be free, and I can catch these playoff games." That's what Meek did.
Speaking, you know what? This has been an insightful episode of the Death Row Show. I mean, they booked Cosby. Thanos has invaded the Earth, and what else did we learn today?
Khalees.
Oh yeah, Jacob doesn't get erections. So
yeah, that's he could have kept that to himself. He could have kept that to himself. We could have did without
that portion of the halftime show.
Oh my God!
Most of that, you said it,
These
bro.
are things we learned on the Death Row Show.
All right. Well, with that being said, people, like I said once again, make sure you join us next week as we recap the Avengers: Infinity Wars and ask the tough questions of: would you let your family be sacrificed for the greater good?
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Hey man, that was a rough moment for me, man.
Just saying, you have
that was a really sad.
Sad moment. If you could save the world, but you had to sacrifice your family to do it, would you? That's a tough one, bro. All right. With that being said, people, we're going to go ahead and close tonight's episode like where's my fucking mouse? Okay. The only way we know how.
How much of the world are we saving? No.